Thanks for clicking on State of the City. My name is Todd Prafke. I'm the City Administrator here in St. Peter, and today is Wednesday, November 6th. And so I'm very happy for you to either click on us on Facebook or click on us on our YouTube channel, or if you're watching us on SPPA, thanks for watching us on SPPA. I appreciate you taking the time to hear some of the things that I'm thinking about and things that are going on within our community. So first of all, I want to do a shout out, a very specific shout out, which I try and do every time, to Barbara and Sarah and all the election judges. We just got done with the election here. It was just last night, of course, and so the election is completed, and so those election judges do a great job and really are the keepers of democracy for us, and making sure those elections are done well, by the rules, fairly, openly, and in an inviting way that encourages people to come out to the polls. And always very proud of St. Peter. I don't have the numbers yet, but we'll make sure to promote those numbers. The turnout, the percentage of turnout, we always do very well in St. Peter. So congratulations to all of you, and again, a shout out, thanks again to all of the election judges. So a couple primary topics here, one of which is to cover the regular workshop that we had on Monday, November 4th, and then some tidbits of this and that and the other thing. So I want to get this on there. So I'm trying to make sure there's the winter trail, or this is really the agenda for the workshop. And we talked about winter trail, no maintenance designation, electric charging stations, goal session protocol, and city administrator evaluation. So I'll cover each of those just really quick. First of all, on winter trail, every year, really technically every 2 years, the council does a resolution and they establish areas where we are not going to maintain trails or sidewalks that are available the rest of the year. And normally those are where it's on kind of a rural stretch of road and we have sidewalk or trail on both sides, and we're only going to do one side, not both sides. And so here's this is kind of a crummy map, but look, you can certainly look on our our website and find this. We have a little Google box up there on the screen, and you can Google box it. And so this map is available that will show what we maintain over the winter months. Now, you got to give us a little bit of room. Sometimes in some of these more open areas, the wind comes and the trails blow in, and it takes us a little while to get out there, a day or so. But this is kind of the list, and so go on our website. I'll try and have a link to that underneath here, so that if this is something that you're really interested in, you can get to it really quickly. I also want to mention electric charging stations. We continue to, today this is fitting, plow ahead with electric charging stations for electric vehicles. You might have seen some work over the last couple of days down by the food co-op. We do have one that's going to go in by the food co-op, hopefully yet this year, if we can get the charging station delivered here in time. It will go in down there, and then we'll have another one that's going to go into downtown, not too far from City Hall, Arrow Waste, Godfather's kind of in that area, River Rock. So watch for some more information on that. We're excited to get those going, and it's a wonderful benefit, we think, to downtown businesses and attracting other people to our community to spend money with them. We think that's great. I also want to mention goal session protocol. We talked about that a little bit. Goal session this time, coming up on November 18th, will include not just the currently seated elected officials, but will include the newly elected officials as well. So we talked about the rules for brainstorming, engagement, that kind of thing, just a little bit so everybody can be on the same page. And then city administrator evaluation. That's something that the council does on a regular basis every year, and so this was kind of the kickoff for that. I don't have a lot more to report on that, but the city attorney will report on it a little bit more at the next city council meeting. So that's the agenda. Let me hit up some tidbits since I'm already 4 minutes into this video blog. So a bunch of different things. Recycling, as you know, the decision was made to go back to every other week recycling. And so here's kind of what I've heard. That works just fine for me because I never had a full Kirby anyway, and sometimes I only set it out every other week anyway. But we have had some people that have called and said, oh my God, mine is full all the time. What in the world? That just won't work for me. What are we going to do? So in that vein, if you're one of those latter folks that, mine is so full, I don't know what to do, give us a ring and we'll try and work out a solution for that. So we're going to work through kind of a list of questions about what are you doing, what are you using, what are you putting in there to make sure that we can appropriately size what you need to make things go. We'll also mention that, too, there are certain times of the year, as an example, like right after Christmas when you have a lot more boxes, things like that. We're trying to work with Nicollet County. I hope they'll come through so they can have additional roll-offs like they have down at the compost facility at the corner of St. Julian and Swift, and up at the County Public Works facility off of Sunrise, rather than just the one to accept cardboard and other things, which is always pretty full. Maybe they can get an extra one or two at those areas during the holiday season to help out with some of that. But we're committed to work with folks to make sure that their needs are met. It might take us a little bit to get this shaken out, but I think we can do it. And as the mayor articulated, and I think it's true, when we were at every other week, we had this much recycling, and when we went to every week, we had this much recycling, at least by weight. And so volume's a little bit more difficult to measure in this instance. And so if you were struggling before, hopefully you won't struggle too much more. And well, give us a call and we'll try and work that out and try and make things work for you. I also have been trying to give out some tips. So here's some information. I'm holding this a little bit closer. You don't need to know it specifically because there'll be information that comes out in your utility bill that talks about the recycling program. And we do have a couple of changes besides that other week that's going on, really driven by Marketplace. So as an example, I want to mention a couple of these. One of which is plastics. We do not take plastic bags. Don't put plastic bags in there. But plastics 1, 2, 4, and 5 are acceptable. 1, 2, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 4, and 5 are acceptable in there. So make sure you're checking the bottoms or the sides of your plastic containers before you're putting them in there. And also one tip, this relates to that volume issue, whether you need 2 Kirby's or 1 Kirby or a bigger Kirby or whatever. We do see that many folks that are putting cardboard boxes in their Kirby's for recycling are not flattening them out. Save yourself a lot of time and energy, save yourself some space. It only takes a few seconds to kind of break them down and flatten them out and put them in there. So those are kind of my 2 tips. Plastics 1, 2, 4, and 5, and flatten those cardboard boxes. Those are great things to make sure that they're flattened. Oh, and also, like with those cardboard boxes, the packing peanuts, or now some of the stuff that we order at our house comes with those kind of air-filled pillow things. Those are not recyclable. Peanuts and pillows, those are not recyclable. So it's just got to be the cardboard. And of course, if there's paper that's stuffed in there, that's okay to recycle too. So anyway, let me go to a couple other things that I want to mention. First of all, the hot sheet. This is our weekly electronic newsletter. If you don't get this, you can sign up for it. We'd love you to get the hot sheet. Comes out every week, usually Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday morning. Great information in it, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But I want to promote, as a part of it, the council has established a complete count committee. And so I want to make sure we count. We do. As I mentioned last time, every person that should be counted that doesn't get counted costs our community about $15,000 over the next decade. So we want to make sure that we get out there and get people counted as the census comes up next spring, March, April. And so we've established a committee. And so within this week's hot sheet, we have an opportunity for people to express their interest in participating. So we're really targeting on some of our undercounted population. So if you're one of the folks in that population and can help us get the good word out about the value of census, what happens with data, how it all works, we would love to see you have interest. And for anyone else too. So send us an email, let us know. Some more information is in here. I'll try and make sure that hot sheet is linked underneath this video as well. So please watch for that. Also want to mention snow emergency rules. If you haven't been paying attention, we had a little bit of snow. We did not have a snow emergency, no snow emergency yet, but we want to make sure that people understand those rules. So I'll try and make sure to have a link for that. And I got like 3 or 4 links here that I got to get on there. So watch for that as well. Leaf collection continues to move along. I don't have a great new report for leaf collection. Make sure you're checking out our Facebook page. The weather has an impact on that. There are a number of things that have had an impact on that. So make sure you're checking out our Facebook page for the latest info, or give us a call. We'd be happy to have you give us a call and tell you kind of where we're at in the process and how we're trying to make that all work out for everyone. We also have job openings for part-time bus driver and a couple of part-time recreation positions. So recreation leaders and others. So look for those on our website or as a part of the hot sheet as well. I also want to mention the hospital, Rivers Edge Hospital. They do such great stuff. As you know, our current CEO is leaving us that first week of December, so we are in the process of working through recruitment and hire of a new CEO. So one of the things that you need to be aware of is that week before Thanksgiving, we're going to be doing interviews, and there will be an opportunity for folks from the public to meet some of the candidates. So we'll get some more information out as the logistics kind of get ironed out a little bit further, but we'd love to see you participate in that and love to hear what you think of some of the candidates that we have. Phew. Oh, from the hot sheet, these are the election results for the city election. So it is so fantastic that we have people that would plunk down their $5 and run for election. So whether you were a winner or a non-winner, whether you weren't elected, thank you for doing that and really putting your name out there and saying that you're going to serve. Like I write in this week's hot sheet in the Makes Me Wonder, a column that I write on just about a weekly basis. Remember to thank the folks out there, whether they won or whether they lost, thank them for their participation and really encourage those folks that won to do a great job. Even if you didn't vote for them and they won, encourage them and thank them for serving and encourage them to do a great job, because as they do great, so does our community. So with that, thanks for clicking on State of the City. Hope to see you again next time, and check out all those links that I'm going to have underneath here. Have a great day.